Okay.
All right. All right, I will call this audio-video conference board meeting of, regular meeting of the Board of Trustees to order at 6:30 PM. We do have a quorum. And then pursuant to Governor Abbott's temporary suspension of open meetings law, this will be an audio-video conference meeting. We'll start off with a moment of silence. Thank you. We'll now move on to the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Shane Stewart.
Mr. President, trustees, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and an audience out there. Tonight's pledge will be led by Eliana Elise Huerta. Eliana is the daughter of Edward and Lara Huerta. Eliana is a fifth grader and choir member at Austin Elementary. She is a junior Girl Scout in Troop 2106 and enjoys playing the piano. Eliana also likes bike riding, fishing, reading, and arts and crafts. She loves the outdoors and enjoys exploring our local wildlife refuge. One day, she hopes to become a veterinarian and knows HCISD will help her reach her goal. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Eliana Huerta.
Hello, please stand. I pledge allegiance
To the flag
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Keep our video off.
Thank you. May you be seated.
Thank you, Eliana. Good job.
You are very welcome, sir.
Next, we'll move on to awards and recognitions. With item 2A, recognition of the Texas Association of Secondary School Principals, Region 1 Middle School Principal of the Year, Mr. Joseph Villarreal.
Good evening, Board President Jaimes, board members, Dr. Cavazos, and audience. I am honored and excited to recognize Vernon Middle School Principal Arlie Tamez as the Texas Association of Secondary School Principals, Region 1 Middle School Principal of the Year. Each year, the TASSP organization recognizes outstanding principals throughout the state who have succeeded in providing quality learning opportunities for their students. School administrators are nominated and chosen by their peers within their regions based upon exemplary performance and outstanding leadership. As a Region 1 winner, Arlie Tamez will now compete for the title of Texas Middle School Principal of the Year. In only 2 years, Arlie Tamez has made an indelible mark on her campus. She is beloved by staff and students alike because of her positive energy, her strong work ethic, and her desire to provide better opportunities for all in her school. Simon Sinek, author and motivational speaker, once said, "Leadership is not a rank or a position to be attained. Leadership is a service to be given." This quote perfectly describes Mrs. Tamez, as she is a quintessential servant leader. Please join me in congratulating the TASSP Region 1 Middle School Principal of the Year, Mrs. Arlie Tamez.
Is she even on, Mr. Struvard? Where is she?
Yeah, can you say a few words?
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Mr. Vidal, Dr. Cavazos, our board. That was so nice. I feel honored and humbled to have received this recognition to represent HCISD and Vernon Middle School World Languages Academy. So thank you.
Super nice.
Mr. President, may I share a word?
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Please, it has been my privilege and my honor to be a board designee for Vernon. And I cannot tell you how much fun it has been to come to know Mrs. Tamez as more than just an acquaintance. And the extraordinary job that she is doing over there is remarkable because, you know, as Mr. Villarreal said, she stepped into a situation not only as a new principal, but in a time when that campus was undergoing the most significant change of its entire very long history. And she did it with such enthusiasm and such expertise and such grace. And she was able to bring along her entire faculty. We have students vying to get into that campus. They're coming from inside our district, from outside our district. And, you know, it's just so exciting to see a great leader taking charge of an idea whose time has come. So Arlie, we're super proud of you. We could not be more excited. And regardless of what happens, and as far as we're concerned, you're already the winner in the state. But you're a winner to us every single day for what you do with our students. And we just cannot wait to see all the great things that are going to happen in the next several years with your leadership. Thank you.
Mr. President, if I may.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Yes, Ms. Thomas, congratulations. You know, it's been an honor to be able to be also a participant at your school and to see such wonderful work being done over there. And every time I go over there, I see such great leadership. You can tell with all your staff and all the students, they're in just such a great mood, and it's great to see that. And I apologize for the background noise. My daughter's having fun back there. But listen, congratulations. And like Ms. Fleurier said, it doesn't matter. Hey, you're a winner. And you're a huge, huge winner to us, and that's exciting. So congratulations. Great job.
Any other board members want to chime in?
Mr. Hyman, this is Belinda Reiniger. I too would just like to add my congratulations. You know, Ms. Thomas, there are so many tremendous opportunities that we have in life. And it takes a leader to see that and to capitalize on that. And you have done that not only for, you know, your immediate campus and the students and the staff and your administrative team there, but you've made an impact for the whole district. You've shown how stepping into a leader position, you know, moving forward with innovation, expanding opportunities rapidly, you know, 2 years, right? Here we are. And so you really set the stage, and we just thank you so much for your leadership, your excitement, your enthusiasm. Keep it going. You are the best in the state in our eyes, for sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Reininger. If nobody else has anything, I'll just add a few words. Pretty much anything that they've already said, and anything I want to say, they've already said, but I could just, you know, we could all tell, just by the way your teachers, your staff, your administrators there talk about you, the way they, you know, I saw a parade, I think they had down your street at some, I don't know what the parade was for, I just saw a parade on Facebook or something. You know, that's a mark, not just of a true leader, but of a friend, and I'm sure that's what they have in you at Vernon. And I just wanted to congratulate you. I want to thank you for stepping into that role. And Ms. Fleury is going to like me for this. Something popped up in my Facebook today, and that back during my sports writing days, I used to use poetry in some of my sports columns just to you know, for the juxtaposition. And there's a poet named Robert Herrick. Jerry, I don't know if you're familiar with Robert Herrick, and he had a poem that started, "Gather ye rosebuds while ye may, old time is still a-flying." And it goes on, but really what that means is, you know, it's carpe diem, seize the day. And I think that, you know, when I see what all of our principals are doing, all of our teachers, and I think that's what we do every day, and I think that's what you're representing here. You know, during this time of uncertainty, you're just taking every day as it comes and doing the best you can with it. And I just want to congratulate you for being our representative at the state level. So thank you.
Mr. President, can you all hear me?
Yes, Javier.
I'm having a lot of problems with I can't, I'm not looking at everyone through my computer, I'm looking through my phone. So I have my phone and my computer on, so y'all looking through my phone, it's technology, oh my gosh. Anyway, Ms. Tamez, I just kind of want to, Elijah, thank you. Usually you're the last one since you're the president, but I've been trying to get my computer to work for me. But Mr. Manager, I agree with everybody, what everyone else says. We are so proud of you. You know, we've always known you've been a dime, but everybody else knows now. And so we're very, very proud of you. We're very lucky to have you leading. And I was wanting to go to that parade. I don't think I was invited. I was invited around and around and around, and I couldn't find it. A lot of you need to give me the address next time. But congratulations. We're very proud of you. We're very, very proud of the students that we have in our district, and it's leaders like you that keep us on the map and continue to show the great things that HCISD is doing. So thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Next, we'll move on to item 2B, recognition of HCISD music teachers. Mr. Ronnie Rios.
Good evening, Mr. President, Dr. Cavazos, Board of Trustees, senior team, ladies and gentlemen, and all the students here with us tonight. Every year, TMEA and the Midwest Clinic select top performing ensembles across the globe to perform at their annual conventions in the big city of San Antonio, Texas, and the International Convention in Chicago, Illinois. Groups are chosen by committees, including some of their very own board of directors, just like we have ours here tonight, through a group's recent performance, including a robust portfolio. So this past year, our very own Harlingen High School Varsity Women's Choir, Moises V. Vela Middle School Jazz Band 1, and Harlingen High School Jazz Ensemble were selected to perform at these very prestigious conventions, representing all of us here in HCISD. For the international event, this marks the very first time, everyone, in history that two groups from a single school district of our size, I promise you, have been chosen for this Midwest Clinic in Chicago. It's never, ever been done before. I don't know if it'll be done again, but it happened this year. Since this year's Midwest will be held virtually, both groups have been extended an invitation to perform at a future clinic convention. TMEA will also be virtual, but will have a pre-recorded performance of our HHS Women's Choir. We have many of the amazing members of these ensembles watching here tonight on our YouTube page and our YouTube feed, as well as their extremely proud parents and family. And I'm extremely honored to now present the teachers of these amazing groups, and they're actually on this Zoom meeting with us right now. So as I call out your name, if you please, you don't mind waving really big for everyone to see you and spot you right away. First, the Harlingen High School Varsity Women's Choir directors, Ginger Wheelock, Alfonso Gonzalez, and Ruben Reyes. Next, the Vela Middle School Group, Erica Uribe, Estela Monosmith, and Desi Limon. Finally, the Harlingen High School Jazz Group, Maria Coronado, Rob Larios, Manny Hernandez, Veronica Villegas, Alex Cavazos, and Melanie Kulaga are outside there while doing a rehearsal at this time. So we would like to welcome Mr. Jaimes or Dr. Cavazos or any of the Board of Trustees an opportunity to address this lofty group of educators.
May I jump in?
Yes, Ms. Ferry, I was waiting for you to say something. I'm also waiting for Mr. Gonzalez to do a little bit more Hamilton for us.
It's pretty difficult to know what to say, because this is so extraordinary. This is so extraordinary. And I am moved. almost beyond words to say thank you to the educators, the music educators, who have worked so diligently and so hard to have this happen, and to our incredible students. And there are no parents more committed than the parents of our music students. So to the entire community, led by the legendary Ronnie Rios. To have achieved this accomplishment is to prove that once again, Harlingen is worthy of receiving the award, which I'm sure is still displayed at the Performing Arts Center, that we were given for being a community that supports the arts, such that we stand out in the United States of America. And so thank you so much. We are so proud of you. I cannot wait to hear every note of music that you're going to play or sing. You are indeed distinguishing this school district in a way that is remarkable. And you are propelling our students into a life of enrichment and joy and beauty that will be with them as long as they live. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. And I love you. Thank you.
Any other board members?
Well, President James, you know, yes, but you always hate to follow Mrs. Fleury.
That's why I yielded the floor to you guys.
But so all I can do is like have, you know, cheering that on, saying it again. Incredible! What incredible gifts that the teachers and your students and the whole team. It's teamwork, and you have just blessed us with such talent. And I guess the only little thing that I can add really is just that, you know, not only is the enrichment for the students and their families, of course, hearing their beautiful children play, but our whole community is, there is something so magical about how much our community loves to hear the performances, benefits from the performances, is excited about the performances. And so, you know, thank you so much. You take our beautiful performing arts building and make it come alive. And that's what it should do. But who knew at this level? So congratulations to each and every one of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Mr.
Dr.
President.
Ryan. Yes, sir, go ahead.
Okay, I want to start off by saying, listen, I love you too, man. Love you too. Fantastic job. Congratulations to every single one of you. Of course, you know, one of the biggest highlights that I always love seeing is, and I can't believe it, is all the talent that we have, you know, and leadership starts from the top down, right? It starts with Ronnie and it goes to all of our teachers and stuff like that. And it's always amazing at our kickoff. And that's, man, I mean, we did as best we could, but it's always so amazing to see all of our teachers and so talented. And so, of course, this is what's expected, right? I mean, we have the best of the best here. We have some of the best performances I've ever seen in my life at every kickoff, right? We got Slash on guitar, we got singers, we got dancers. It's fantastic. So this is what we expect. So congratulations to every single one of you. It's awesome. Congratulations, Ronnie, on such a job well done with your team. And of course, rolling down to the students. That's exactly what we want. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis. Yes, sir, go ahead.
Echoing everything my fellow board members said, I just want to let the community know that this didn't happen by chance. It's a lot of hard work. I mean, early in the mornings, late at night. This is something that we expect, but make no mistake about it. It is hard work that doesn't come easy. It doesn't come just naturally. It's just a lot of hard work. It's kind of the old saying that they once told Tiger Woods, you seem to get lucky a lot. And Tiger Woods says, yeah, it seems the harder I work, the luckier I seem to get. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's the same thing with you all. You all are, you know, it looks easy. Everybody sees that it's very smooth and You guys are always great, but they don't see behind the scenes of all the hard work, the countless nights, waking up so early in the morning to get you guys where you all are at. So congratulations, keep up the great work, and just to let everybody know, you guys work hard, and that's just the way you are. You just are rock stars in everything you do. So congratulations, each and every single one of you.
Eladio, I agree with you. I think we should get Alfonso to sing for us. He's amazing. He's just amazing. Good job, man.
He was. He is. I just want to say that, obviously just to echo everything everybody's saying, but I see that Eliana Huerta is still on. Hi, Eliana. Thank you for sticking with us. And if I remember correctly, she's in choir too. So this is, this is the future of these programs, and I'm glad she's here seeing this this recognition, because I know for a fact that these teachers really have a passion. We talked about the leadership of Ms. Tamez, but the leadership of these instructors in band and choir at the high school and middle school level is unmatched, I think, to any other district, because they care and they have a passion for the art, and they pass that along to their students, and that impact sticks with them for a long time. I know, because my niece graduated from that program, and it was definitely an impact to her life, and she's still pursuing music. So, Eliana, these will be your teachers, because they're not going anywhere, right?
That's right.
So thank you guys, to the instructors in band and choir. Thank you for your passion, and thank you for your dedication to the art and to passing that passion along to your students, to our students. All right. We'll move on to item 2C, the recognition of PTSA Students of the Month for September and October. Ms. Brianna Vela Garcia.
Good evening, Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. It's great to be back in an HCISD board meeting to introduce you to 16 amazing students. Brandon and I worked together to gather these interviews, and it was truly refreshing to interview students again, this time from a distance and Zoom. And beyond their experiences due to COVID, I could hear the pride in what they've accomplished through high school and their excitement about what they're planning for the future. So tonight I will be recognizing our September and October Students of the Month. They're here in the Zoom meeting to watch the video with us and to take a Zoom screenshot with everyone afterwards. Students, do y'all mind turning on your microphones just to say hello and do a quick wave? Hi, hello. Hi. Hello.
Hello. Hi. Hi.
Hi. Awesome. So the students you see on camera tonight, they represent the PTSAs of Harlingen High School, Harlingen High School South, Early College High School, and Harlingen School of Health Professions. This video will be available for everyone to watch publicly on our HCISD YouTube page following this board meeting, so we hope you enjoy our video.
Cameron Hale. I'm a senior at Harlingen High School. All right, so I am in marching band, honors concert band, honors jazz band, HOSA, Battle of the Books, PTSA. In those, I am a team captain for Battle of the Books. I am first vice president for PTSA. I am president of the HOSA club, and I am drum major for the marching band. Outside of school, I am in Girl Scouts and also in a couple of church groups, including the Bell Choir and Brass Ensemble. Some things I'm passionate about are definitely reading. I love to read, and of course band. I spend a lot of my time in band. I plan to go to Texas A&M College Station. I plan to major in business administration and then go into an accounting track in order to get an MBA after a 5-year degree program. And then I hope to go, I guess, into the business field. I'm not 100% sure where I want to go after that, but I'll definitely figure it out as I go through college.
Cervantes, what a move, right side pass.
My name is Callie Cervantes. I'm a senior at Harlingen High School. I'm involved in varsity track, varsity basketball, National Honor Society, Student Council, and Parent-Teacher Student Association. I'm a captain for basketball, and I'm treasurer for PTSA. I'm not sure where I'm going to school yet, but I plan on going into pre-med so I can become an anesthesiologist.
My name is Mia Castillo. I'm a senior at Harlingen High School. I participated in track, and I am currently in National Honor Society, Student Council, Lower Valley Cotillion, Student Advisory Board, and I am this year's PTSA president. I'm very passionate about equal rights for everyone, no matter their race, color, or sexual orientation. I strongly believe that everyone has a basic right to happiness and being treated with respect. I plan on attending either LSU or Texas State and get a degree in fashion marketing. My goal is to become a fashion designer and open my own boutique one day.
My name is Christian Luna. I go to Harlingen High School, and I'm a senior. The only club I'm in is in DECA. My sophomore year, I win the state. I'm passionate about business. That's what I'm planning on studying whenever I go to college. I'm planning on going, I might go to school at Texas A&M at Corpus Christi, and I want to study business management. And as for a career, I want to go into real estate, but after that, I'm not too sure.
My name is Joseph Bell, and I'm a senior at Harlingen High School South. Okay, so I'm in NHS, and I'm currently the treasurer of NHS. I'm also in FBLA, and I'm currently running for president of FBLA. And in tennis, I serve as a co-captain of the boys tennis team. I'm passionate about sports, learning, and growing as a person. I'm currently in the process of applying to college, so some schools I'm interested in are Vanderbilt, Rice University, and A&M. I'm planning on studying computer engineering, and in the future, I think hopefully I can work in a corporate job like Dell or NASA or somewhere as a computer engineer.
My name is Hannah Abrego. I'm a senior at Harlingen South. I'm in FFA. I'm a member. I am also in the Superintendent Student Advisory Board. Last year I was the Community Service Chair, and I was really disappointed because we actually didn't get to do the Community Service Project because it was in April. But this year, hopefully, I plan on running for president, and then I am in NHS, and I'm a member as well. So, some things that I'm passionate about is learning, education, just learning as much as I can. And I love FFA, and I love raising livestock, especially my pigs. So right now, I think I'm planning on attending Texas A&M University College Station or Texas Christian University. I plan on majoring in biomedical sciences or in biology, and my plan is to hopefully get accepted into medical school and then going on to become a surgeon. And for my specialty, I would like either trauma surgery or a pediatric surgeon.
My name is Hannah Bonner. I'm a senior this year, and I attend Harlingen High School South. I am on the varsity cheer team, and I'm also in the National Honor Society. One thing I'm passionate about is uplifting others. I hate seeing the people I know sad or frustrated, so when I get the chance, I always try to help them out and be there for them. I plan on applying to the University of Incarnate Word and studying nuclear medicine science, and I would also like to pursue a career in radiology. I was always into science related careers and I just think they're really interesting.
My name is Caleb Cochran, and I'm a senior at Harlingen High School South. Right now, the clubs I'm in I'm in PTSA as a historian, I'm in NHS, Student Council, and UIL Academics, and right now I'm playing football. The things that I'm mainly passionate about is politics. I really like that a lot, and I'm really interested in that. I also history is probably my favorite subject. I've always liked that since I was a little kid, and just learning about, that's probably, I mean, it's been my favorite class, so it's something that I enjoy, and it's fun. Right now, I'm undecided on where I'm going to go to college, but I've applied to a lot of different places, and right now I'm just praying on to be able to make the right decision, and because I think it's very important of where I'm going to go. And when I do go to college, I'm hoping to study political science. As a future career, of course, I'd like to, after college, go to law school and become a lawyer.
My name is Valerie Martinez, and I'm a senior at Early College High School. I'm the Vice President of PTSA, the Vice President in NHS. I'm also in yearbook, drama club, student council, and in robotics. Something I'm most passionate about is medicine. Like, I think it's so interesting how the human body works, and yeah, I just love that kind of stuff. My brother actually studied kinesiology, and whenever he would come home, he would tell me about some of his experiences, and it kind of just like, it excited me too, and it brought me interest also. I plan on attending Texas State to earn a bachelor's degree in exercise science to pursue a career as a physical therapist.
My name is Eric Cavazos, and I'm a senior at Early College High School. I am in the Student Council and the National Honor Society, but I do not hold any leadership positions. Basketball, and that's it. I play for Harlingen High School, and it's my senior year. Varsity last year, hoping to get my Letterman's jacket. I'm passionate about music, basketball. Basketball has been a part of my life since as long as I can remember. My dad brought me out playing, and we watch every game together, all the time. I plan on going to Baylor University in Waco, and I would like to study marketing, hopefully to get my master's. And then in the future, I want to take over my parents' real estate company.
My name is Samantha Abse. I am a senior at Early College High School. I am in National Honor Society, and I'm in drama club, and outside of school I participate at my local church, and I help out my catechist. Like, I was raised in a Catholic household, and my parents, like, I've always just been really involved in church, so I took the opportunity to take a step forward and actually help out in my community. I'm really passionate about like getting my education done, because my parents have always they always just encouraged me to get the best education I can. So I'm always trying to be at the top of my class and all of that. And at the moment, I am planning to attend UTRGV, and I'm gonna pursue psychology. And then once I get my undergrad from my graduate school, I want to go to Texas A&M, and that's when I plan to do forensic psychology.
My name is Yuna Nazar, and I'm a 12th grader at Harlingen Early College High School. Inside of school, I am part of Drama Club, Student Council, PTSA, and I am currently president of the National Honor Society. Outside of school, I am part of the Keystone Club, which is a leadership club within the Boys and Girls Club, and I am part of the Pearl Within Club, which is a self-discovery journey club for young women. I'm definitely passionate about making a difference in my community, not only by community service, but being active in children's lives. I have grown to learn that children are the future for everybody, and sometimes these kids don't feel like they're capable of being the future for the world. So I want to be that person that motivates them and encourages them to believe that they are possible of anything they can set their mind to. It's up in the air as to what school I want to go to, but I will be applying to Rice University, Texas State, UTRGV, and Texas A&M. My major that I want to do, it has to do with communications or public relations or anything with the social sciences. Definitely with the public relations, I'd like to be a public relations specialist for a big company. My dream is to work in New York City, so that would take me there. But social sciences, anything from communications to maybe even psychology, and be a psychologist for young adults, for children. My name is Viviana Soto. I am in 12th grade, and I go to Harlingen School of Health Professions. I'm in Student Council, HOSA, the Spanish Club, Rotary, mostly all the clubs at HSHP, but for my student council class, I hold a leadership as vice president of my class. So I'm in charge of like organizing fundraising stuff to raise money for our activities for the class of 2021. I like to read a lot. I had a lot more time in middle school, but now with working at like schoolwork and everything, I don't have as much time. But recently, last year I had a teacher and she like allowed us time to read in class and everything. So I like to read. Hopefully I plan to get into UT Austin. I hope to major in biology because ever since I think it was my 8th grade year at HSHP, I had a really good biology teacher and he made me fall in love with biology. It was real challenging, but that's what I liked about it. And I ended up surpassing my goal in my test and everything. And I hope to eventually follow a career in pediatrician, as a pediatrician.
My name is Osman Morarel, and I go to Harlingen School of Health Professions, and I'm a senior. So some clubs and extracurriculars that I've been involved in at my time here, ever since my freshman year, I've been involved in HOSA, and so I've competed in HOSA freshman year, got to go to state, and HOSA has been something I've continued into my senior year. I do have an officer position there. I've been the vice president since 10th grade, and hopefully I get to be president this year. That's still tentative. I'm also part of the LVM program here, so my junior year, my extracurriculars were cut off to ensure that I was able to fully focus on my academics and then succeed in the program. So within school, I mean, obviously I'm passionate about medicine, but as I've matured here through the years, I've learned more about medicine as a holistic point of view and not necessarily just this is how you diagnose and these are the signs and symptoms. So I am planning on applying early decision to Boston University, and I hope to major in international relations there. And as my future career, I hope to major as a politician because for far too long, the disenfranchised really haven't had a voice while the enfranchised have, and I just really want to be a voice and an advocate for my community.
My name is Walker Alexander. I am a senior at Harlingen School of Health Professions. Right now, I am in the Boy Scouts of America. I'm an Eagle Scout, and I'm also in HOSA here at Harlingen School of Health Professions, where we compete with using our knowledge of the medical field. And I also do track and cross country for the Harlingen Cardinals. So as of right now, I am in the pharmacy pathway here at Harlingen School of Health Professions, and if I do decide to continue with pharmacy, I am most interested in the University of Texas at Austin's School of Pharmacy. So I think that is probably what I would do if I decide that I really am passionate about keeping on with pharmacy. That's what I would do.
My name is Kimberly Reyes. I am a senior at Harlingen School of Health Professions. I am involved in soccer, Queens Falling Christ, HOSA, Rotary Inter-Rad Club, Spanish Club, Student Council Club, and I am secretary for the Silver Club, and I am a leader for the Do Something Club. I'm passionate about helping others. That's the reason I'm involved with so many things. I enjoy helping others. I can volunteer and forget about eating and stuff like that. It fascinates me, and I love helping people. So I plan to study at UTSA, and I want to study nursing. And as a future career, I want to become either an RN or a nurse practitioner.
All right, and we actually have the full extended version of that video already available on our YouTube page, so students and our parents watching on the live link, y'all are able to go check that out. I want to quickly thank our high school PTSA presidents and members that helped select this great group of students. I'd also like to thank the president of Harlingen City Council PTSA, or PTA, Elias Ortega, for all he does to help back the future of students in our HCISD community. As students, as I call your name, just send a huge wave through Zoom, and you can also say a quick hi. So from Harlingen High School, we have Callie Cervantes. Awesome, and then we also have Cameron Hale. For our October students, we have Mia Castillo.
Make sure y'all say hi so that you can pop up on the screen.
And then Christian Luna.
Hi.
Awesome. So from Harlingen High School South,
We have Joseph Bell, and I've been told that Joseph is at soccer practice right now. We have Hannah Abrego.
Hey, Hannah.
Hi. For October students, we have Caleb Blackburn,
Hello.
and we have Hannah Moore. Hi. Awesome. So for our early college high school students for September, we have Valerie Martinez. Hi, everyone. We have Eric Cavazos. For October, we have Samantha Arce. And we have Zena Nazar. Hi. Who wants to be a public relations specialist, by the way? From Harlingen School of Health Professions for September, we have Viviana Soto. Hi. We have Osman Moradel.
Hi, good evening.
For October, we have Walker Alexander.
Hi.
And we have Kimberly Reyes. Hi. All right, congratulations, students. I'd like to invite the board to say any words if y'all would like to, and then right afterwards we'll take our group screenshot photo.
Okay, any board members want to say something?
But sir, I was just going to say, Mr. Hines, stars everywhere. Congratulations.
Congratulations to everybody, all the students, amazing. Just, I have to say this, I'd be remiss if I didn't. I heard two key words, I hope you heard them. Texas A&M and pharmacists.
I also heard Longhorns, so.
Mr. President, I wanted to just add, what I love, I feel fortunate I know several of you, and I've seen you grow up, and how are you seniors? I don't know. It's amazing. You're amazing. But I love your commitment to big ideas and big issues, and your commitment to excellence. There is no doubt you are just going to, make such a difference. But we're excited to watch you go. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Reidinger. I just want to add that we're all very proud of you, and we have no doubt that whatever you are going to set out to do, whether it's pharmacy or move to New York and be a hotshot PR exec out there, you're going to accomplish that because, you have that drive. We can see it. The only thing I ask of you is at some point after you go conquer the world, consider moving back because, we need you all over here at some point. So I was going to take a photo, but if you're going to take a screenshot, because I was going to say the only thing that doesn't feel normal about this is standing up front,
Right.
taking a photo. But if you take that screenshot, I guess we'll all wave.
Yeah, we'll try this out. I think this is one of the first, especially since we have 16 of y'all in this chat. So if everybody can just kind of do like a wave and a smile, and I will catch that on camera real quick. Got one page down. Let's go to the next. Awesome. Well, thank y'all again so much for joining us. The video is on our YouTube page, and congratulations, students.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Garcia. Next, we'll move on to approval of minutes. Item 3A, the September 8th, 2020 regular board meeting. Do I have a motion?
Yes, I move to approve the minutes as recommended.
I second the motion.
Motion by Dr. Reininger, second by Dr. Muniz. And any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Next, we'll move on to item 3B, the September 17, 2020 special board meeting.
Mr. President, I move approval.
Motion by Ms.
Second
Fleury,
motion.
second by Dr. Muniz. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we'll move on to the approval. Excuse me? Oh. Next, we'll move on to approval of consent calendar.
I'd like to make a motion for the approval of the consent calendar as presented.
Thank you, Dr. Muniz.
Second motion.
We have a second by Ms. Fleury. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Next, we move on to item 5 and our principal's report. Ms. Magda Gonzalez from Austin Elementary.
Hello.
Hi.
Good evening. And let me see. All right. A little bit different circumstances tonight. But good evening and welcome Board President Dr. Cavazos, members of the board, senior team, and audience. Tonight I have the pleasure of sharing what has been an extraordinary journey and learning experience for the students and staff at Austin Elementary. Last week, our IB journey reached its final destination as our IB verification visit came to fruition. Joining me in this adventure is my hard-working, dedicated team who worked so hard to make this happen. As you see here, here I am, in IB terms, soon to be head of school. That's actually the name, head of school instead of principal. Next, you see Mrs. Rodriguez, my outstanding AP. And then here you see Mrs. Ingram, my delightful counselor, always there to support the social emotional component. And next, Ms. Garcia, my nonstop, always going instructional coach. And here you see Mrs. Rodriguez, my other Mrs. Rodriguez. She is our creative, fabulous LMS, our librarian. But right in the middle, you see Mrs. Hortensia Juarez. She is our IB specialist, whom I don't have enough descriptors for to adequately represent her dedication in making sure that we become an authorized IB campus. It has become her mission. So our long-awaited verification visit occurred this past week for both Austin Elementary and Sam Houston Elementary. One of the key components in striving to become an IB World School is a student profile, learner profile. As seen here, the learner profile consists of 10 attributes that are seen throughout the campus in creating the whole child. This is just one example of the attributes as we talk about communicating as becoming good communicators in different varieties, in different situations, as you see here on campus, as we prepare them to face the world. Our journey first began with the announcement of our IB candidacy status. We celebrated with our students and staff. We currently continue working under the candidacy status as we have done since the fall of 2018. Since then, the student learner profile and the IB program of inquiry have encompassed our campus. Through their actions, it is evident that our staff, along with students, have embraced the heart of the IB curriculum. Next, I will review several of the components that have led us to our authorization visit. Our transformation has included professional development and planned meetings that included collaboration among the entire staff. This helped to strengthen their communication skills to collaborate effectively and listen carefully to the perspectives of other individuals. This opportunity gave teachers from both campuses the platform to explore knowledge across a range of disciplines. Here you see planned collaborative meetings that were organized to provide my staff the venue to use critical thinking skills to analyze and take action. Our planners were completed and shared. Their lessons afforded students the opportunities to become reflective, balanced, and caring global citizens. In addition, another area that makes an IB campus unique is the acquisition of a second language. At Austin, the acquisition of Spanish was selected as a chosen language. Mrs. Gonzalez, our Spanish teacher, works tirelessly to foster the love of a second language and help students become knowledgeable of cultures and customs of various countries, thus developing open-minded and balanced scholars that critically appreciate their own culture and personal histories, as well as the values and traditions of others. At Austin, we pride ourselves in producing caring scholars. Our students show empathy, compassion, and respect for others. An example of their caring ways is when students take action. Here's a display of first graders' act of kindness as they collected food for our local human society. Displaying their inquiry skills through curiosity and working with others, they were able to collaboratively create posters, script morning announcements, and work as a grade level to build their commitment to service and act to make a positive difference in the lives of others and their community. The curriculum, another important aspect of becoming an IB campus, the curriculum is called the Program of Inquiry. The Program of Inquiry is made up of 6 units of inquiry. Each grade level selects a unit of inquiry and spends an average of 4 to 6 weeks per unit. Amount of time spent on each unit varies until all 6 themes are introduced, reviewed, reflected on throughout the year. So now, this leads us now to our IB verification virtual visit, which took place last week, October the 5th and 6th. And here, you will see the jam-packed day schedules. In this schedule, the verification team requested to zoom in to every classroom, meet with each grade level, which also included our special teachers, our music, PE, GT, our counselor, our librarian, which they all met individually with. And by their request, at the end of the first day, the interview process included meeting with members of the school board and the superintendent. I can share the purpose of the meeting was to inquire about the level of support that would be given to the IB program. They were ultimately very happy to hear the immeasurable support for the program, including the naming of Vernon Middle School as the next stepping stone in progression toward our district schools. Day 2 was also packed, which included a virtual tour of the campus in order to get a feel for the culture of the campus while school was in session. One essential area of the second day's visit was allotted time for the IB verification team to interview some of the Austin Knights from various grade levels. Through collaboration, units of inquiry, and research, students have improved on their communication skills, helping them to become risk takers who are open-minded and caring individuals. These characteristics are just a few of the learner profile attributes we embrace in our campus culture. So, to sum up what came out of our visit, you see here a comprehensive report with detailed findings from the verification team with a summary of the visit will be submitted to the IB organization. As stated by the head of that team, there were no matters to be addressed as that goes on forward. Recommendations for improvement will be scripted in our action plan as we go forward. And the verification team will soon be submitting a report to the International Baccalaureate Organization Office in the United States. We also have an expected timeline to receive notice in the early December of 2020. And so now we have a short video I'd like for you to see, and it gives you just a small little sampling of our journey as we look forward to becoming an authorized IB World School.
Well, one of the goals of IB is to develop the whole child, and you can see that in them. I've had some students who are very quiet. They come in, and by 5th grade, you can see they become the leaders of the campus. They're doing the announcements now. They're the ones leading projects. And yet, when they were younger, they were so quiet, and they were very shy. So I see a difference, and I can see their leadership skills. In 5 years, I see them using those skills in their classrooms, in the community. One other area that we had to work on that is different from most schools is the collaboration among the special teachers, including our music, PE teachers, working alongside with our Spanish teacher as well, making sure that they're collaborating with the classroom teachers. In whatever areas the classroom teachers are working on now, they are aware of incorporating that in music class and in PE.
In the past, we've used character counts, and with a lot of those character traits, you know, the students are very familiar with the trustworthiness, the respect, and so forth. And so it was wonderful now to adopt these IB Learner Profile attributes because they were kind of already embedded in our guidance program. But I've worked and collaborated with the teachers so that we can provide very, very influential lessons to really showcase these attributes now and have the students recognize these traits, which are so important to their character development. And I really think that the whole IB process has really allowed them to conduct themselves with an elevated sense of shared experience and thoughtfulness too. It's our hope that they are going to embrace this and that they do see it as a mission to go out there, and you know, once they leave Austin Elementary, they'll have opportunities to perhaps, you know, continue that path and be at an IB campus in middle school and perhaps in high school, so that when they are out there in the real world and are able to make a difference and become, you know, those productive citizens that we're hoping to raise them to be, that they'll have that mindset to go out there and really make a change and make a difference.
So what makes IB unique here at Harlingen CISD is that the teachers are very much trained in the program. So they are very knowledgeable. Every year we offer training. They attend official IB staff development. And so they are very well trained in the program. Also, the program doesn't just focus on the academics, but we're not just giving them information, knowledge, facts. They're actually taught how to learn. The strategies are there, and teachers use best practice strategies to help give them those skills to be able to research, be able to present their findings, be able to collaborate in the classroom together as students. Every classroom, as you walk through it, you see students working together collaboratively, coming up with questions. The teacher isn't always leading the class, but she is in the background kind of guiding the students to make inquiries. And so it is really great to see that it's really so much about the student's perspective in the classroom.
And I hope you enjoyed the video. And it was really good video, but there was still something missing from it. And because of our situation we are now, we weren't able to interview students. So we have some special guests with us here in the audience. As you may be able to see, some of my students are here and they're waving. I'll introduce them in just a second, and they actually were the ones who had been selected by their teachers to be part of the group that was interviewed by the verification team. So let me just go down the line, and boys and girls, if you would just wave and say hello as I call your name. Troy Garza. I know Troy is there. He's right there. We have Eliana Huerta. She did a fine job starting. Hello. We have Lily de los Santos.
Hello.
There's Lily. Gabriel Gonzalez.
Good evening.
We also have Jaslyn Lopez.
Hi.
And Sean Flores.
Hi.
And last but not least, Katara Mora. There's Katara.
Hi.
So boys and girls, you all were, that was the first time you were able to see the video, right? And what an impression that IB has made in the school. So does anybody want to mention what kinds of activities, what kinds of events? Now, of course, we're going to go back in time. We're not going to talk about the fourth quarter last year, because that was a little different. But before that, what kinds of activities, what kinds of projects that you can think of that happened last year? Let's see. Eliana?
I remember that last year we had our first ever talent show at Austin Elementary. And I felt like we were all being risk takers by taking a chance and showing ourselves doing our talents on the stage.
That's true. That was the first time we had ever done that. And yes, you're right. A lot of risk takers. Everybody on stage was a risk taker. Katara, what do you remember?
I remember planting, there's like a garden where you will plant things, and I feel like I was open-minded because I never planted. I never planted. I never knew how to plant.
You had never done that before, right? Very good. Excellent. And Sean, what do you remember?
I remember in second grade we used to do like Chinese and Spanish. Well, I actually think we're being risk takers too, since we're learning new languages.
Exactly. That is exactly right. You did have, I think your class was one of them that had the Mandarin too. You're exactly right. So, Lily, did you want to?
One of the projects we did last year was we gotta make the habitat and show what the animal eats and how it lives.
Oh, you remember doing that. What area, what theme was that? Do you remember?
It was like sharing the planet.
It was. Yeah, I think you're right. It was sharing the planet. You're exactly right. Can anybody think of something else? Anything else that you worked on, Gabriel?
I remember that we were doing in third grade, we were doing a project about history where I dressed up as Christopher Columbus. Everybody had a different president, and we made a poster. We were using teamwork, and we were researching all the facts about our president. And then we went to the cafeteria and we were showcasing and communicating with second graders and showing them all about our facts.
Very good. So you were working on your communication skills with others, right? Exactly. Exactly. Yes, I do remember that. And I know, Eliana, what else do you remember?
I remember last year, I believe we were doing mock boycotting.
Oh,
go ahead.
No, what was that? I remember it a little bit, but what happened? What were y'all doing?
Well, what we were doing is we were trying to say what we believe that should change. Like the cafeteria, I remember we were boycotting on the cafeteria food that maybe they can add lasagna, salads. They still do salads too, but just some new foods that we would want to try out. More recess time, no homework. I remember all of those. Yes. Yeah, that's what we were boycotting for.
Yeah, and actually I do remember that too. I remember when y'all were doing that. Katana, what do you remember?
I remember another thing that we needed to like do it like a show. Like there's in I think it was in pre-K that we needed to we were practicing and then we were seeing if we already know what to say. So then when it was the day we did like the show in the cafeteria. There's like a show there. So we were there and all the parents were friends. So we sing the song. I think it was like a rhyming thing, and so we needed to sing it, and it was all the parents taught us how we did it.
Very good. So you had an audience, right, when you did that? Very good. Troy, do you remember? Is there something that you recall? Can you get a little bit closer? Troy, I think, did you unmute? Y'all are experts at muting and unmuting. Oh, we can't hear him.
There he goes.
Okay, well, he'll work on that. Okay, one last thing, Sean, one last thing.
I remember it was another thing sharing a planning where like high school kids came and they were showing us inside fruits where it had like all these types of seeds where we could eat or whatever we could eat and what we not could eat and plant, like that kind of stuff.
Very good. Y'all collaborated with the high school kids, right? When they came over?
Yeah. The topic was sharing the planet.
Yes, I do remember that. All right, one last, Lily, you want to mention one last thing?
Yes, one of the projects we did last year was based on firefighters, and we got to draw something like where something was on fire and how it got on fire and just a lot of subjects.
Very good. Okay, do you want to go back, Troy? Did you get it? Did you get it fixed? You want to try? I think you had. You want to try again?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Eliana?
I remember that a few years ago, maybe it's last year, we were doing an IB Learner profile for caring. And I remember that we had a donation drive for the Harlingen Humane Society. We were donating food, dog bowls, dog toys, and I felt like we were all being caring and showing empathy to the animals that need our help.
Very good. Very nice. So I don't know if anybody has any questions for our special guest here who did a great job. They have a fabulous memory of everything that happened even before COVID. So I don't know if anybody has any questions for them.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir, Mr. Delio.
I have a couple of questions and comments. First of all, I want Ms. Gonzalez, fantastic job. You have great students. It's just listen to each and every single one of them. It shows that not only did they attend class, but they listened in class, they participated in class, and they excelled in class. So kudos to each and every single one of y'all. Super proud. I mean, it's impressive you having to go that far back to remembering what you did, and you were very specific in each specific topic you were talking about. So that kudos. Very proud of each and every single one of you. Ms. Gonzalez, this, and I guess maybe it goes to maybe in the obviously we won't be able to get it with you because you were the first one to give the principal's report.
But you know what I kind of like to start seeing in the future is the now. What are the rewards that the kids are accomplishing today? And again, it's pretty early with you, but as we move forward on our monthly meetings, what are the rewards that the students are encountering with this new world? What are the accomplishments that is occurring with the new norm that they're in the classroom? You know, and the great steps forward. We want to hear about all the great things that are happening with this new technology that the students are having to go through. But most importantly, some of the challenges that they're going through, so that we can all learn, the community can hear some of the things, and we can learn and listen and hear the story from the eyes of the students telling some of the issues, some of the situations, some of the accomplishments, rewards, and even the challenges. So I think it was a great presentation. Students are just rock stars, each and every single one of them. If each student is like the ones that we just listened to about maybe 5 minutes ago, they're our future, each and every single one of them. And what I'd like to see in the future is the future Magda's and Izzy and Sean's and Katara and Eliana and everyone else, telling us some of the accomplishments, rewards, and great steps that they've done now with the computers, you know, the virtual and even online, that face-to-face. So I'm kind of looking forward to, as the year goes on, to continue to hear the great things that we've heard right now, and as we move forward, the great things that are actually happening as we're living it. So Magda, fantastic presentation, great work, great students. The great students aren't just great, they're great because they have a great leader, great teachers, and great support staff. So fantastic job.
Thank you. I just, you know, you mentioned about the now and what's happening. If you take a look really quick behind Katara, that is her daily schedule, her organization of what she has to do. Do you want to move aside, Katara, so they can see how you have your schedule all set up as remote at home?
You want to close it up so you can see it?
Yes, Ms. Gonzalez, we can all.
Look at that organization there.
Let me see, I didn't get to see it. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Starting from the beginning at 7:45.
Wow. That's impressive.
And she has her own schedule.
Wow. Way to go, Katara.
What grade is Katara in?
I put check marks when I already finished that activity, and I put a happy face when the check mark when I already entered that activity, and happy face when I finished already. I ended already having my tablet and my telephone an alarm, so I don't need to hear about the time. It just took me. So I don't need to check the time. I'm just doing my work.
And Katara, what grade are you in?
Huh?
What grade are you in?
Third grade.
Third grade. Let me ask you, are you all virtual? Are you face-to-face, or are you a combination of both?
No, I'm in Zoom. I'm in home.
At home? And how do you like it?
It's good.
You like it?
It's the same thing. I feel the same thing.
Okay. Great job, Katara. Super proud of you.
I also have, go ahead, Katara.
I have two schedules. There's one over there. It's a little one, and here's the other one.
Very organized. I didn't call on Jaslyn. Jaslyn, did you want to mention really quick what you could think of from last year?
Last year we got to vote and make posters on who would, like if we can get something for recess, like if we can get a seesaw, or if we, for lunch we can get nachos every Friday, and stuff like that.
Very good.
Yes, Lynn.
Very good.
Thank you, Ms. First of all, to the students, thank you all so much. I see Mr. Gabriel Gonzalez here becoming a regular in our board meetings. He was here last year. But congratulations to all of you guys. We're very proud of you all, and the way you guys just took part in this meeting. It makes us all very proud. And Ms. Gonzalez, thank you for that report. We look forward to this journey and going along with you on this journey and seeing what the future brings for all of these students.
Mr. President, if I may?
Yes, sir, Dr. Muniz.
Hey, awesome job, kids. This is what we love to see, really, when it comes down to it. This is the ultimate success stories. When we see you guys smiling, learning, that's what HCISD is all about, right? So we love to see this. Your principal, Ms. Gonzalez, is such an amazing person. We know that. But we don't see you guys all the time, so we love seeing you guys. We love hearing your stories. So thank you so much for sharing your stories with us. It's great to see that you're learning and you're thriving even during this moment of COVID. And of course, Ms. Gonzalez and your team, congratulations to all of you for your success. I've mentioned this in previous board meetings. I've been to IB schools. I've had the opportunity, and we see some amazing knowledge being learned in those schools. So it's exciting, super exciting for myself. I know Ms. Fleury has also spoken of this before. And it's great to see that we talked about it. It was like, hey, let's maybe do this. And now we're doing it. The action is happening, right? It's one of your steps. It's one of your principles of action. And so we're actually doing it now, and it's so fascinating to see it coming full throttle. And I loved seeing all your teachers in the video. That was such a great, fantastic video. Ms. Padron. Who has Ms. Padron as a teacher?
Did anybody have Padron in first grade? Yeah, Catara did.
Yeah, she was like a movie star. She was in all the scenes, so that was awesome. So guys, thank you so much for being here this evening, and Ms. Gonzalez, thank you so much for everything you do for us.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Muniz.
Mr. President, I just want to say this is my alma mater.
That's right.
Thank you.
That's right. Yes. Thank you all.
I want to say hi to Gabriel. He was in a video where he almost recognized the superintendent, right, Gabriel? Do you remember that, Gabriel?
Yes.
Good to see you.
Yes, Mr. Intendant.
Yes.
You're not gonna forget now.
Thank you, won't forget.
All the
So thank you. I just wanted to thank each and every one of you for your support. A special thank you to Dr. Noyola. She's been there every step of the way. So I wanted to thank her. Also, if you noticed, our IB specialist, Ms. Juarez, has played a big role in where we are today. So I really wanted to highlight her. She's done a fabulous job for both schools, not only Austin, but Sam Houston as well. So thank you for all your support. It was very evident in our exit summary when they spoke about how impressed they were with all the support that we were getting for IB.
Thank you, Magda.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to item number 6, the public comments for agenda topics. Ms. Brown, do we have any public comments for agenda topics?
No, sir, we don't.
Thank you. Item number 7 is public audience for non-agenda topics. Do we have a public audience?
No, sir, we don't.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. We'll move on to item number 8, matters relating to transformation in school support, transforming teaching and learning committee report. Dr. Noyola.
Thank you, Mr. President. Board members, senior administration audience, and absolutely our superintendent, Dr. Art Cavazos. So I want to speak a little bit about our Transforming Teaching and Learning Committee meeting that was held last week on October 6th. We had 2 items that we brought forward for discussion. The first item was an update on our pathway to reopening. And so we've been on this pathway journey now for a number of months, dating as far back as last March when we first began confronting this COVID situation. And so throughout that whole process, it was about a pathway to bringing our students back into reopening. And so we started out our school year with 4 weeks of remote learning. And so in getting prepared for that, it was a lot of training and focusing on producing the most quality education for our students as they were participating remotely. But this past week, thank you, Shane. This past week, we opened our face-to-face instruction, and so October 5th, we brought back a number of our students that had selected face-to-face as part of their learning pathway. And so as we moved to this process of face-to-face instruction, our focus had to shift to some degree to what were our health and safety protocols. We wanted to ensure that as we were bringing our students back to face-to-face, that we were taking every measure to ensure their safety. And so there was a lot of safety and preventive measures that we had put in along the way. Part of that was communication and ensuring that everybody was very clear on what those protocols were going to be that our students would be receiving as they came back. Had some conversations in our presentation about some of the personal protective equipment that we have provided for all of our students and staff, our physical distancing, and how we're accomplishing that in our classrooms, our hygiene protocols, our health monitoring and screening, the cleaning and disinfection that was happening, all of that very much tied around how are we being preventative in the process and ensuring that we have safety measures. But beyond that, there was also a number of operational steps and processes that we put in place along the lines of continuing to ensure that safety measures. So things like what we were doing with our buses and ensuring that we were maintaining physical distancing and doing all the things that we needed to do to protect our students on our buses, rearranging arrival and dismissals, our administrative offices and different things that we were putting in our offices so that we too were keeping our staff that works in our offices safe. We talked about transitioning. How are we transitioning students from classes to classes when the need exists for that? How we were handling our food and nutrition, how we were operating our cafeterias, playgrounds, recess, emergency drills. We're still expected to keep conducting our fire drills and all of the expectations from the state. How we were operating our elective classes, our special classes that Mrs. Gonzalez spoke about earlier. And then how are we going to handle special events? So there's a lot of aspects that go into the operation of a school. And so as we were preparing for bringing our students back to face-to-face instruction, there was a lot of things that we had to take into consideration and make sure that we were putting the appropriate measures in place. At that meeting, we also talked about how we were going to manage should the situation occur that we would have a positive case on campus, and what does that process look like? So as a district, we've developed a process map that guides our district, our campuses, on how do they go about doing their contact tracing and identifying to what degree a positive case would have impacted us. And so all of those measures have been put in place to guide us as we bring our students back into our school system. We also spent some time around closure. So should we have a situation, what guides the decision on whether to close a school? And actually that decision is not necessarily made at the district level. The way that this process works is that should we have a case, we do all the contact tracing, identify whether there was any close contacts, and ultimately all of that information is sent to our local public health director, who ultimately will make a decision whether a need exists for closure. I have to share that we have had a few cases, and so as disconcerting as that can be, one of the things that we certainly learned is that all of those protocols and measures that I mentioned earlier, the effective implementation by everybody across our district, those cases that we have seen have resulted with no close contacts occurring because our people have been very faithful to the implementation of these protocols. And so all of those situations that we have become isolated cases thanks to the work of our staff and our entire school district in focusing on the safety of our students. We did have a discussion in closing about what become next steps. As we look to November 9th, the opportunity will exist for our families to make a decision on whether they would like to change their pathways. And so if, in fact, we have additional students that choose to return into face-to-face, we talked a little bit at our meeting about a new waiver that has become available from the state, should we choose to implement it. And so we're watching that closely. Once we know how many students we anticipate returning into face-to-face at the second quarter, we may have a discussion around how do we transition those additional groups of students that may be choosing to come back to face-to-face. And so we're getting ready to get feedback from our families on whether any of them would like to make changes. And then if they do, then we'll go ahead and have a discussion, certainly with our board, about whether a need exists for the implementation of an additional transition. And so we'll continue to keep our board updated on our pathway. We're still a way to go till we're at a point where our students all return to school. And so all of that is part of our pathway to reopening. The second presentation that was done at our Transforming Teaching and Learning Committee meeting was presented by Veronica Corton, our Administrator for Organizational Development. And so her presentation, she took that time to share with us the Holsworth journey that we have been on here for a little over a year, and what that journey has looked like along the way. That journey has led us to the development of a leadership definition for our district that will really highlight what are those qualities and characteristics that we want in all of our leaders, and how do we foster that? How do we build those skill sets in our organization? But when we talk about a leadership definition, it's not just about those positions that have a title of leadership. It's really about how do we build leadership across our entire organization in whatever position you may play in the district. That can mean that our custodial staff, they play a role in leadership. They too have a role in leading our district, all the way up certainly to our principal level and the role that they play. So how do we build all those skill sets, and then how do we start developing a pipeline to fill any potential vacancies that we see along the way? So as part of that process, Mrs. Corton shared how we got to that through a lot of surveys, a lot of feedback from our entire community, from all of our staff, our principals. What are those qualities? And through all of that work, we were able to identify those key characteristics that we are looking for. And so as we go through the rest of this year, we'll be spending time in educating our entire organization about those characteristics and what does it mean to be a leader in HCISD. So you may have had an opportunity to see our leadership wheel. She shared that at our Transforming Teaching and Learning Committee, and just a great graphic representation of what it all entails to be a leader in our district, where it's a combination of finding that balance between the mind and the heart in what we do when we lead across our district. We were fortunate at that meeting to have a couple of our guides from Holsworth. We had Colin Curtin and Keisha DeJarnette that joined us, and they have just been instrumental in guiding us through that process. It's been a tremendous journey working with Holsworth, and just the opportunities that they have given our district. Mrs. Corton shared a little bit about the opportunity that we have had as leaders to travel to multiple locations across the world, really, to see how everybody else works leadership, and how do we take the best of everything that we see and tailor that experience to creating our own definition for how we want to develop leadership in our organization. So I'm really excited. I think this leadership definition will play the same role that our strategic plan did. That leadership definition will really guide transformation across this entire district. And when we did our strategic plan years ago, we didn't quite have an idea of where we would be. And now look at our district and just the transformation that has occurred. So I can't wait to see where we are 3-4 years from now as we implement this leadership definition and continue to transform our district one step further. So just tremendous presentations that we had an opportunity to discuss and delve into. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Reiniger, who chairs our Transforming Teaching and Learning, for her thoughts and any additional comments.
Thank you, Dr. Niola. Yeah, every Transforming Teaching and Learning committee is just packed with information, always has been, and I expect that it always will be, because it really is about thinking through and creating that change. And so this one was no different, as you just beautifully summarized. I think that, in the pathway to reopening, I think I just want to make sure that the community understands the attention to detail that at every level of this organization that was put in to make sure that our teachers are safe, our children are safe, our staff are safe, all levels. And it's balancing. It's balancing that attention to detail with all the requirements that are still put on this district, meeting those requirements, excelling at what we do. And so it's truly, truly important and impressive. There is no doubt that the only way to deal effectively with COVID and to live in this pandemic is to be just attuned to all of the particular risks and all of the ways that we have to protect ourselves. And I want to commend the whole HCISD team on this, and the parents and the children who are just doing the work, right? It takes a dedication to doing this. The little things, right? Wearing the mask right, being consistent, all of those things. It takes all of that. So keep it up. You're doing great. And then on the Holdsworth piece, and Dr. Niola, you really did capture this beautifully, that this work around defining leadership is going to transform the district, because it's showing that in recognizing and building and commemorating and all of that around leadership at every single level. And we saw beautiful leadership in our students tonight, right? When you have adults who are leading, children are leading. And so how exciting is this? All levels, our district is made up of the finest staff. And so, as Dr. Cavazos says, plan the work, work the plan. You all have been doing the planning part of what is leadership, and now I'm so excited to see what's going to happen as you work this plan. So I know that all of you involved with Holdsworth, what a fabulous organization, but you are not letting one drop of what they're providing to you go to waste, and so we're excited for that. Thank you for letting me speak about this.
Thank you, Dr.
Mr.
Reiniger.
President?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
I had a couple of comments and then a question. First comment is I agree with Dr. Reiniger, and great job in the preparation and the safety measurements. I mean, it's no easy task, and it was months and months and months of strategy and communication, collaboration, and it's not just collaboration and communication from HCISD, but from the city, from the state. So, but it's easy to say that it was great preparation. It's easy to say that fantastic safety measurements by administration, but the proof is in the pudding with teachers, staff, and I have not heard, and the community, and I have not heard one concern. That doesn't mean that they're not out there. But I haven't heard any concerns with the safety of teachers, where teachers are saying, I don't feel safe being in the classrooms, or any of the staff, or any people from any of the community members, the parents calling and saying, I get a lot of phone calls, and I haven't had one phone call saying that they feel unsafe, the child feels unsafe, or the teacher feels unsafe, or any of the faculty and staff feel unsafe. So that there speaks volumes. And that is because of what Dr. Reiniger said, and Dr. Niola and Dr. Cavazos is doing all the great preparation and working all the details. I mean, it wasn't done overnight, and it was done through months and months of collaboration. So kudos, great job. I concur with Dr. Reiniger and everything. My one question is, in the last 2 weeks, last week and of today, have we seen a difference in a percentage, or where the parents are changing their mind and putting more face-to-face or more virtual, or is what they said what it is?
So we've seen, excuse me, we've actually seen it both ways. We've had parents that had requested face-to-face, and so with our parents that requested face-to-face, we've talked to them a little bit about what that process looks like and when they can make some changes. But we've also had people that have requested remote instruction. So it's kind of been a little bit of a balance. I think what's happening is people are finding what works for them.
Can't hear you.
For me individually,
I don't think they can hear you.
It's working now. It's working
okay.
now.
Yeah, when you're close to the mic, it works beautifully.
Okay, so just to reiterate what I shared, Mr. De Leon, I think we're seeing a balance of both. We're seeing some families that are requesting face-to-face, some that went back to remote. I think what's happening is that people are finding, students are finding, families are finding what works for their individual child. And so I think that's a great thing, because what we're seeing from the state level is that they are creating additional flexibilities to where for those kids for whom remote instruction works and they enjoy that, hopefully as we move into the future and the state starts to create more of these flexibilities, we truly can individualize instruction for children. And so, I was having a conversation earlier about, it'll be interesting where we are past COVID on whether we truly find that place where we can individualize instruction for kids. When we were in just a traditional face-to-face setting, we did a lot of individualization, but never to the point where a child that was interested in online learning and felt like that's what worked for them was really an opportunity. And so what we're seeing from the state is they're going to start creating more of that flexibility. So I'm really excited at the potential for individualizing instruction for our students as we move forward. And I think going back to the same point, I think kids are finding what works for them and selecting that as their pathway.
Good point. Thank you, Dr. Mayo.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Leon. And thank you, Dr. Ryan and Dr. Nola again. We'll move on to item number 9, matters relating to curriculum and instruction, approval of 2020-21 district and campus performance objectives. Dr. Nola.
Thank you, Mr. President. So every year, all of our campuses, as we go through this improvement cycle, every year we are looking to improve and have increased performance. And so the expectation from the state as well as from our district is that every campus set performance objectives for where they want to be at the end of the year. And then based on those performance objectives is how they really craft their campus improvement plan, as well as we as a district craft our district improvement plan. And so with that requirement that performance objectives be developed, one of the expectations from the state is that the Board of Trustees annually approve the district and campus performance objectives, and that those become built into our district and campus improvement plans. And so that's exactly what we're bringing forward tonight, is the performance objectives that have been identified for every campus. Just as a reminder, when we moved to our Realizing Our Dreams scorecard, that scorecard really set the foundation for what were the expectations and performance objectives for every campus, so that every year our campuses were striving just that one step forward. And so every campus actually has a 5-year goal. And so we are incrementally developing or increasing those performance expectations and those performance objectives. And so what you will find is that the performance objectives that you are seeing tonight are a reflection of our Realizing Our Dreams scorecard. And so with that said, we are bringing forward our campus performance objectives, and administration recommends approval of the performance objectives brought forward this evening.
Mr. President, I move approval.
I second the motion, Mr. President.
Motion by Ms. Fleury and a second by Dr. Muniz. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Hello, aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Moving on.
Mr. President, I would like to make one comment,
Yes,
please,
ma'am.
and that is to say that as an old school teacher and in watching the development throughout the years, I would just like to commend all of our principals and their campuses and the leadership on the senior staff level. That is a ton of work. What we just approved is hours and hours and hours and hours of work. And so I want to acknowledge that and to say that we do read those. It may take us a while, a lot longer than it takes you to do them, but we appreciate what you're doing, and thank you for Thank you for following through. It's a fundamental and foundational piece of work.
Thank you, Ms. Fleury. Moving on to item number 10, matters relating to business services. First item, approval of list of investments dealers, brokers, and banks. Mr. Julio Cavazos.
Thank you, Mr. Hyman, Dr. Cavazos, board members. If I can share this screen here real quick. This is a list of our investment brokers, dealers, and banks. This list is the in financial institutions that we solicit proposals whenever we go out for bids for our investment CDs and such. That didn't change from last year. We're recommending approval. Glad to answer any questions that board members might have.
Mr. President, I make a motion for approval of the list of investments, dealers, brokers, and banks as recommended by administration.
Thank you, Mr. Leon. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Greg Powers. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. We'll move on to item 10B, consideration and approval for 2020-2021 stop-loss coverage for medical and prescription drug benefit. Mr. Cavazos.
Thank you, Mr. Hyman, Dr. Cavazos, board members. Agenda item 10B is consideration and approval of stop-loss coverage. We did receive solicit proposals and received one. We did have a good discussion at our employee benefit committee meeting, if I can share this. So we did get one proposal from Blue Cross and Blue Shield for a specific deductible of $250,000. So it came in at about a 3.2% increase over this current year. It's about $82,000 overall. We pay, about $1.2 million last year, so it's going to go up a little bit. Again, $82,000 increase, a 3.2% increase. We also discussed the possibility of increasing the stop-loss coverage, but as a committee, we felt that the $250,000 stop-loss deductible was something that we would like to keep. So we're recommending approval of the stop-loss coverage with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas with a specific deductible of $250,000.
Mr. President, may I mention something?
Can we get a motion?
Let the record know that I'm reclusing myself from this.
Okay, yes, Dr. Muniz.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the 2020-2021 stop-loss coverage for medical and prescription drug benefits as recommended by administration.
I second the motion.
Motion by Dr. Reiniger, second by Ms. Fleury. Any further discussion?
I'd like to ask Julio. Julio, what's our loss ratio right now?
The overall loss ratio this is just the stop loss, but the insurance ratio, we're about 82% for this year, which we had a pretty good year through the end of June. So we did show the committee a recap of our financials, and currently in our reserves, as of June 30th, in our self-funded health insurance, we have about $2.5 million in reserves.
Wow, that's fantastic. Okay, thank you.
All right, well, all those in favor, we're noting Dr. Muniz is abstaining from the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Moving on to item 10C, consideration and approval of the renewal for term life coverage. Mr. Cavazos.
Thank you, Mr. Hymas, Dr. Cavazos, board members. So this agenda item we'll also discuss in our employee benefit committee, and this is our life insurance policy that we provide our employees. We have a $10,000 policy, life insurance policy for our employees. The costs are minimal. We did get a renewal from Voya Insurance. It came out about 17% increase, guaranteed for 2 years. So it's about $11,000 per year. It's not a big increase overall. So we're recommending approval. Again, we did discuss this at the employee benefit committee as well. Be glad to answer any questions board members might have.
What is the pleasure of the board?
I would also like to move approval of the renewal for life coverage as presented by administration.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Reiniger, second by Mr. De Leon. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Julio Cavazos. Item number 11, matters relating to human services. 11A, approval of teacher evaluation appraisers for 2020-2021. Ms. Debbie Scoggin.
Good evening, Mr. Jaimes and Board of Trustees and your team. And so this evening we bring forward the following individuals as noted in your board packet to serve as teacher evaluation appraisers for the 2021 school year. These individuals have received the appropriate state mandated training. And so administration recommends approval of the individuals as noted as teacher evaluation appraisers for the 2021 school year.
Mr. President, I move approval.
A motion by Ms. Fleury,
I second the motion.
a second by, I think, Dr. Muniz. Any further discussion?
Mr. President, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Evaluation. Ms. Coggins, are we doing anything different or out of the norm than what we've done in the past on these evaluations since we're in a different situation? Maybe we already talked about that and I didn't attend that meeting.
And so we have moved forward to continue to provide the orientation and training to all teachers that is mandated that be done within the first 3 weeks of the school year. And so our principals are working closely with our campus teachers in order to prepare them to move forward to be evaluated throughout the school year. In addition, I know that through our organizational development department, Mrs. Corton and her team have worked with our campus principals regarding a revised observation form, and so this is information that has been shared with our principals, and our principals are sharing this information with our teachers as we move forward here at the beginning of the school year.
Right, but is the evaluation, how teachers are being evaluated, different from the past 20 years because they're in a whole different ballgame this year as they were last year and the years before? So is there a change in the evaluation process or a change in anything, or is it just what we had last year and the year before?
And so it is a very similar process, and so our campus administrators will continue to conduct walkthroughs as they're visiting the virtual learning platforms, and so they will continue to work closely with teachers on that. As far as the actual observations, I believe that is something that is being planned at this time, and certainly we'd be happy to bring forward an update to our board as we have that information finalized.
Yeah, I'd like some clarification, or maybe not necessarily clarification, but maybe more of an explanation in terms of how a teacher is going to be evaluated, because now teachers are having to do face-to-face, and they're having to do virtual, and they're having to create the curriculums, and they're having to do a lot of professional work. There's just so many things that are going on that, you become a jack of all trades and a master of none. So I don't want the teachers to get short, and I know they won't, but I'm a word. I just don't want teachers to be either shortchanged or at least they don't know the rules of the game. And so what I would like is just so that when they're being evaluated, it is different this upcoming year than it's ever been. Not that they can't do it, and not that it's anything wrong, but it's just different. And so I would like to see what is it that's different, how we're evaluating a teacher, because they've got different responsibilities, they have different strategies, they have different. The outcome's going to be the same, which is to educate a child, and they're going to do amazing. But how they get evaluated, how they get viewed, I think that's something that I think I'd like to know a little bit more, because I'm not sure exactly how that is going to look.
We'll get that for you, Mr. De Leon, and for the rest of the board via a board update or a presentation. We'll bring it forward.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Leon. Forgot, did we vote on this already?
No, let me see. No, I don't think it's been voted on.
Okay.
Sonia, has it been voted on?
No, sir, it hasn't. It has been a motion and seconded, but it has not been
Ms.
a
Fleury
final vote.
motioned and Dr. Muniz seconded. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. And thank you for paying attention, Sonia. Honey, I wasn't. Item 11B, approval of recommended revisions to policy update 115 on first reading. Dr. Noyola.
Thank you, Mr. President, Dr. Cavazos, board member, senior administration, and audience. Earlier this evening, we held our Policy Audit Committee meeting. At that meeting, we reviewed Policy Update 115. Policy Update 115 included recommended revisions to policies from TASB. And so we spent some time discussing 13 policies that are all a result of the 86th legislative session, as well as some changes to administrative code. Administrative code are really the rules that guide the operations of school districts. And so we spent some time discussing those policies. Two of the policies were policies that were recommended for deletion, that we actually take them off of policy and move them into administrative guidelines because they were just very operational. There were some changes to, some updates to policies or replacement of policies that were within the F series that really dealt with addressing student welfare. So things like discrimination, retaliation, sexual harassment, all the things that protect students. And so there were some adjustments to those policies. There were adjustments, like I mentioned, to Title IX. Also, just some changes on a number of policies that, again, were as a result of the legislative updates. Not significant changes. A lot of these changes we had already implemented because these were changes that came about last summer. And so they were changes that needed to be implemented immediately as part of the 1920 school year. So we went ahead and implemented all those changes. There's just a little bit of delay sometimes before the verbiage makes its way into policy. And so this was just a matter of putting the verbiage into our policies. We did have a discussion specifically around policy DED local, which addresses vacation and benefits for our staff. And so the recommendations that were coming from TASB was about streamlining what was in that policy, but as we looked at the work that we had done in crafting policy DED local, there was a lot of specificity in that policy that it really impacts how we operate. It's a policy that a number of our employees continuously refer back to as they're making decisions with regard to vacation time and paid leave and their benefits. And so we felt like we wanted to leave it exactly as it is because it does get used quite a bit. And as we developed that policy, there was a lot of contribution by a number of our staff across the district. And so we felt like it was best to leave it as is, as opposed to the recommendation from TASB. Mrs. Fleurier chairs our Policy and Audit Committee, and so I'll turn it over to her for any additional comments. But administration does recommend approval of the recommended revisions to Policy Update 115 on first reading, with the exception of Policy DED local. Mrs. Fleurier.
You're muted, Ms. Fleury.
Thank you. Wonder if I'll ever get that right, maybe not. Thank you so much, Dr. Murillo, and as usual, you covered it with great specificity yourself, and really you covered all the topics that we discussed. I'd like to thank my committee members for being present, for contributing, I will make the motion, but before that, I would like to make one observation that we discussed, and that is that there really was a different field this time. This is a very technical, business-like study that we do at each of our policy committee meetings, and tonight it really felt as if the policy had taken life. All of the policies, the policy book, as a matter of speech, has really taken life and is studying us where we are right now, because we're in a very different place, right? We're doing things differently now. And so to see the reflection of doing things differently and the shift that provides and moving us forward, I thought was very reassuring, because rather than just being black and white typed letters, this is really becoming a living document as it is changing, as we are changing education. And so I appreciate that very much. That having been said, I recommend the approval of the revisions to Policy Update 115 on first reading as set forth by TASB, with the exception of Policy DED local as recommended by the administration.
Thank you, Ms. Fleury. Do I have a second? Dr. Reininger, with a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Item number 12, matters related to district operations. 12A, approval of final construction payment to CAHS Inc. for the HVAC Phase 2 upgrades at Harlingen High School South. Mr. Oscar Tapia.
Thank you, Dr. Muniz, members of the board, Dr. Cavazos. This is the final payment we have for central air heating services for the Harlingen High School South AC upgrades and digital control upgrades that we did this past summer. The last payment has to be approved by the board. Final payment is $36,918 with 50 cents. The project engineer has reviewed it, gone through all the punch lists, and recommends approval of the final payment as presented. We did go over this at the facilities committee meeting, so I recommend approval.
Do I have a motion?
I move for approval.
A motion by Mr. Greg Powers,
Second motion.
second by Mr. Jerry Fleury. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Item 12B, approval of final construction payment to G&G Contractors for the mini gym interior wall panel improvements Phase 3 at Dishman, Houston, Rodriguez, and Stewart Place Elementary Schools. Mr. Tapia.
Dr. Muniz, members of the board, Dr. Cavazos, this is another final payment. This one's for G&G Construction for the mini gym interior wall panels at Dishman, Houston, Rodriguez, Stewart Place. Final payment is in the amount of $14,776 with 38 cents. This project is also complete, reviewed by the architect, so we recommend final approval and release of the payment, and this was also presented and discussed at the facilities committee meeting.
Mr. President, make a motion for approval of the final construction payment to G&G Contractors for the mini gym interior wall panel improvements Phase 3 at Dishman, Houston, Rodriguez, and Stewart Place Elementary Schools as recommended by administration.
Second. Thank you, Mr. Leon. Second by Mr. Powers. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Item 12C, Facilities and Safety Committee Report. Mr. Tapia.
Thank you, members of the board, Dr. Cavazos. The TRE projects were presented at the facilities committee meeting held on October 6th. The projects we presented were the Treasure Hills Elementary Phase 2. We discussed all the master plan with the buildings that have been demolished, the temporary setting up of the offices, administration, so reception areas, nurses areas, those are complete. We got approval from the city to occupy them where the 4th and 5th grade wing is. So that's where the administration office is located now. We also went over the parking lot improvements in the front off of Haynes for the drive and the bus drop off and some additional parking there. Vernon World Language Phase 3. Project is about 95%. Project is, brick pavers are in, the landscaping, the painting, all the work is done. We did run into an area that we've been having some erosion of soil in there caused by a drainage line that's broken underneath the building right off the courtyard. So we're getting a price to repair that, and we'll be presenting that at the next meeting for approval so we can take care of that busted line. Also went over the progress of the Early College High School and UT RGV campus. Project was 15%. All the footings have been poured in the drill piers, and they're already pouring several slabs of foundations. They were working on the western third section, and they've already got steel work up with studs. And as sections are being poured, they're starting to lift the frame up. So it's going very good, and it's on schedule. The HCISD Transition Academy, they've poured several of the slabs. They've already have the structural wood studs up, and the driveway section was being prepared for a pour as well. And we did have our groundbreaking event this morning at 9 o'clock. The Davis Fine Arts Academy, I presented that project, all the interior work we're doing there as part of the Science and Arts Academy. We have a new interior wall at the dining hall that's been put up. We have a dance studio that's complete with the mirrors and a dance floor. We have the black room over at the choir room that's been painted, the ceilings, the walls, and new black tile floors that they wanted. and some interior glazing work for the computer lab where they have the robotics program. You can see from the hallways into the classroom so you can see what the students are doing. The marquees presented the Performing Arts Center marquee is complete. Showed a picture and a video of that. And the Gutierrez marquee should be delivered late next week, and then followed by Vernon's of all of Harlingen South, and they're already doing the drilling for those piers. And then I presented a change order for the Vernon projects for the busted pipe that I just talked about, and final payments for the 2 payments that we just approved right now for the ACF South and the mini gyms for those four elementary schools. And Julio Cavazos gave a final construction financial report on the TRE projects, followed by a final adjournment at 4:30. Mr. Powers is our facilities chair. I'll turn it over for him for any questions or any additional comments.
The main thing I'd like to comment on is, one, I'd like to congratulate Joseph, Shane, Brianna, and Oscar, you and your crew, for the presentation today at the Transition Academy. It was an outstanding program. Our district really, it was amazing. The speeches were so moving, from Dr. Cavazos to our president. Manny Vela gave a very impressive speech, and Mrs. Brunel really accentuated the need that this project has for this community and the benefits it's going to provide for our community. It was really an impressive meeting, and I want to thank you all. It was very well done. Thank you so much for such an outstanding program. Other than that, I think Oscar's covered everything that's going on in the district at this point, and we're in good hands. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Powers.
Thank you.
Mr. Powers, may I say one thing, please? May I add one thing?
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Well, committee, thank you. I just would like to say thank you because there were several of us on the board who were not able to attend in person, and it was such a gift to be able to attend virtually. And it just meant so much. If anything, I heard every word, every nuance, and I thank you to Shane and to his team, Shane and Brianna and the team. That's a tremendous asset. A tremendous asset, and I agree, Mr. Powers. It was a very moving ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fleury. And thank you, Mr. Tapia. Thank you, Greg, for the report. Next, we'll move on to item number 13, adjournment to closed or executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, and 551.082. The Open Meetings Act for the following purposes. Discuss employment of teachers and other professional staff. We are now in executive session. Okay, we're good. We're back from executive session. We're now back in open session.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Shane,
Are we live?
I'm getting feedback from executive session on the iPad.
No, hold on. I think it's this one here. Had to go. It's not got it. Okay, we should be good now.
Okay.
Hello? Yes.
No, we're still getting feedback.
Is everyone muted?
Is that me talking?
Okay.
No, I don't know. This is giving feedback.
It's one of those iPads. Yeah, it's one of the iPads that y'all have up there. Disconnect audio.
Mine's still in there, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that the problem?
Yeah, I removed that one. It's good. It's not even.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we are now back in open session.
Hold on, is it on?
Hold on. Are we live?
Okay.
We're live. We're live and back in open session again. So, do I have a motion for item 14A?
I move for approval as recommended by staff.
A motion by Mr. Powers.
Second the motion.
Second by Dr. Muniz. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We are now adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Great meeting.